Hi, I'm Tim Morton from Frost Giant Studios. I know there's been a lot of interest to get an update on our development progress. We've still got a lot of big questions ahead, but right now we're really just focused on building out a foundation for a new game. In this video, you're going to hear from members of the art, design, and engineering teams about what they're currently working on. I hope you enjoy the update.
For me, I love focusing on the setting first. I love building a game world. The reason why setting is important to me is that it is the foundation from which everything else can be made. It's hard to decide what factions should be in the game, or what units should be in those factions, or what gameplay mechanics we should do if we don't really know the setting first.
We're taking a look back at the previous games in the genre, or just previous games as a whole. In the space. So we have like Warcraft 3, StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2, obviously. We can look at how games that we think of as like, you know, the games of our lifetime, the games of our childhood, they do have some minor flaws, and I really wanted to delve into what we could do better.
Right now the art team is myself and two amazing concept artists, and we're really focused on one faction currently. We're doing a lot of 2D work, kind of figuring out the look and the feel, and once we establish the visual language of that faction, we will then create it in 3D and get it into the game and then kind of see what works and what doesn't from a silhouette standpoint and readability.
At the moment, I'm working with the other designers to sort of figure through, the different problems that we need to solve to build the game we want to build. But the UX-specific components of that are things like the flow of the user through the client, the UI that the user uses to interact with the game itself. And that includes grayboxing the UI, implementation of the UI. It could involve art, we'll see. There's a lot of different components to that.
I was various roles on StarCraft 2. I was gameplay lead, engine lead. Currently I'm trying to lay the foundation for our deterministic simulation. RTS have a lot of units. They need to be responsive. We'll start small and we'll implement unit-to-unit collision and movement. There are about 500 Yetis here of various sizes and one large red Yeti. The Yetis flash when they're in collision with another Yeti and need to be moved. As the large red Yeti tries to trample the smaller ones, it sets off a chain reaction that is traditionally very expensive on the CPU. This is a demo of our physics engine.
The hardest part about implementing an RTS is getting high unit counts and quick responsiveness with those high unit counts. And that really requires a whole different style of coding, a whole different style of doing networking.
So far, I've sort of been laying the foundations for our network architecture and our network code, starting to hook that up to various smaller pieces of our prototype to sort of prove that this foundation is something that we can confidently build the rest of the game on.
My favorite part of the job is working with a community. I love this community. This community is like family to me. My kids are in this community. This community is my family. We have a community member, nice username, who kindly kicked off a subreddit for us, and that subreddit has been also amazing, incredibly active, full of ideas. The progress from the community side has been terrific.
For us, I think the challenge is the opportunity. We are a small team. We're a small studio. We just formed the company. We've just assembled our initial core crew, and we're just beginning development on our game. We're able to make technology choices now at the outset that will support the gameplay that we're after, and we're able to design gameplay and approach it in a way that is really fresh and is really new. We're entering a new phase where we're going to be testing some of our initial ideas by prototyping them in the game, where we're going to be building our first units and our first buildings, getting our first taste of gameplay, and really, this is where the magic happens. We can really prototype, find the fun, and then chase that wherever it leads us in order to deliver the best possible game.